Hello and welcome back to Jay Talks, today's relationship show. I'm Jay, your host here on today, and today once again we have well, you becoming a really good regular on here. I think people gonna be expecting to hear from you a lot more often. We
Thanks
have
for
Miss
having me.
Debbie.
Hi, Jay. Thanks for having me back on the show with you today.
All right, Miss Debbie. Okay, well, good to have you here once more. You've been a real good companion on the show while everybody's
Mhm.
been away. Um, and today's topic, we're going to be talking about why people don't wear their wedding rings. Oh,
Yes,
wow.
yes.
Uh-huh.
Great topic, Jay.
Mm,
Great topic. I've been wanting to know the answer to that question myself for a while.
why people don't wear their wedding rings.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right, I guess that's a good one. Well, there's all kinds of reasons why they don't wear their wedding rings.
Yeah.
I think the most popular one, I think, is because uh, you think it's because of playing the game.
It's several, like you say, it's several reasons
Mm,
why it could be that a person doesn't wear. Now I know, Jay, a wedding ring does not a marriage make. I know that, but it's a symbol
mm,
um, of two people together, And so you talked about, what is the reason or reasons that a person may not, wear their wedding rings. And I understand that there could be, different reasons, but I don't know. I'm just trying to find. I find it kind of hard as to why, a person, being a male or a female, wouldn't wear their wedding ring. What is the reason for not wearing it? What's a good reason for not wearing your wedding ring? I know, today, it has been my experience, that in today's society, a lot of times, you see a ring on a person's finger, on their hand, and a lot of times, that could be a deterrent and it could not be, depending.
mm.
But overall, do I think a person should wear their wedding ring? Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Overall,
Yeah.
okay. Overall, well, I mean, I've seen many reasons. Uh, Well, I can tell you, I feel guilty at one time not wearing my wedding ring
Mm-hmm.
because there was time, and still even now, if I was have to wear a wedding ring, um, I may find myself taking it off because of the different kinds of work and hobbies that I do. Being that I do construction, and at one time was fluently employed doing construction and mechanical work, and just a lot of work with my hands. Um, and I guess most people do work with their hands, I guess, in
Absolutely.
some kind of way or
Mm-hmm.
another. But I do a lot of different things with my hands. Um, uh, it wasn't the brains that got me anywhere.
Right. Okay.
But I couldn't stand the clanking of any ring. I mean, it wasn't necessary because it was a wedding ring. It was just any jewelry and any rings. I more throughout my years from high school, I have lost. I mean, so much jewelry just from. I'm serious. From high school on up throughout my years, I have lost so much jewelry because I'll get to doing something, and I'm a musician too, and I still can, and I play several different instruments, especially playing keyboards and playing drums. When the drumsticks get to hitting on the ring and stuff, and I just can't stand that clanging feel. And before I knew it, I would take stuff off and sit it down. That's just me. I can't say that. Y'all don't go try to use my excuses, okay? All right, all right. Y'all might be saying, I need to use
Use
that one.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But see,
uh,
I've been like this since high school, and I would always say, don't I would say that to my former exes. I say, don't buy me anything. I don't want no jewelry. I know me and all that. But then sometimes folks just want to try to force you to wear stuff. But for me, wearing a ring was not as mandatory or as necessary uh, as it wasn't to really uh, for having to have to symbolize or confirm that you got a significant other. So what you think about that?
Well, I mean, yeah, I can understand, that point, Jay. It doesn't have to, but, okay, now, in all honesty, and like I said earlier, I know a ring does not particularly make a marriage. I understand that. I know that. Um, but I personally like the symbolism in it, And I'm not talking about, when a lot of times when men hear women say that, they, automatically mind go to, she want the biggest rock there is, in the jewelry store. No, it doesn't, have to be that. But what I'm saying is that it's the symbol of you and I, you and I. And so, I mean, I'm for it.
Oh,
I'm for it.
You say you for it?
Yes.
All right. All right. Well, I mean, yeah, that's all good and everything. But yeah, it like you said, it doesn't. Some people just, they have to see it. But the thing I say is that even though you have the ring on, uh, does that mean that the person still ain't gonna cheat?
No.
See, just because they got a ring on, that give you that security. That really gives you the security they ain't gonna step out.
No, Jay. No, it doesn't. Okay, so let's hit on that point right there.
Right.
Okay, so you got the ring. He's got a ring. You got a ring. Okay, one of them is cheating. All right. So does that make it? No, it doesn't. I mean, but we're talking about what the ring really stands for and the symbolism that it stands for. No, it does not mean that you're not going to cheat if both of y'all got a ring on. No, it does not mean that. But what is the, why not? If you have a ring, why not wear it? Why not wear it? Okay, you made the point, that you do a lot of things with your hands and things like that.
Right.
Okay. Now that's good. That's okay. You're not being one for jewelry because there are men who don't really, care about jewelry like that, and I understand that. But I'm talking about your wedding band, your wedding ring, okay? And if you take it off, Jay, okay, and you put it down somewhere, go back and get it. Go back and get it.
If you take it off, go back and get it.
Yes.
Oh, I tried to get by. You think I really want to lose my jewelry? I ain't really tried to, but I hear what you're saying. But I just know me myself, just me, because of situations that I've been through, and I'm the same way when it came to wallets. I've lost so much money in wallets, man. One time, because I can't stand. That's just me. It may be. I guess it wouldn't be questionable if it was somebody like me, if you were to look at look at their history and then see, that hey, this has been going on way before I can, the other person came along, way before, like my history goes all the way back to high school, which ain't got nothing to do with no wedding rings and no high school.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's just for me, it's jewelry, period. But like I said, y'all don't be trying to use my stuff. Don't be talking about no old stuff, all right? Trying to use my lines, all right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, Jay, we talked about your perspective and why you don't. let's look at the other side of that thing, you know. And the other side of it is that for those, and I haven't seen too many women in this position because as a woman, you know, we glad to say, let me just say, you know, I'm married, I got a, you know, my ring, you know, we honored, you know, we're honored by that. But for the man, the other side of that is that why he does not wear his wedding ring or why he takes his ring off. If you can remember, there was an episode for all of those who watched Martin. Like, now I was a Martin
Mm-hmm.
fan, and it was an episode that he and Gina had gotten married, and he took his ring off because he wanted to see if he still had it,
Mm-hmm.
and lost the ring. He ended up losing the ring at the gym where they were working out. So some men take their rings off to see if they still got it.
Mm.
What do you think about that?
Wow. Uh, yeah, some men do. Some men do take their rings off to still they still got it. That wouldn't that be still like cheating? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
guess.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying. Wouldn't that still be like cheating?
Mhm.
To see, I mean,
Mhm.
why you still got to be trying to see if you
You
got
see,
it if you already got it?
if you
You
already
already
got
got
it,
it, right?
right,
You know,
right,
you
right,
got the
right.
one. That's the it,
Yeah,
right? If you
yeah,
already got
yeah,
it,
yeah.
why you trying to
Try
still
to
see if you
still see
got
if you got
it?
it. Yeah,
Right? You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know. And I mean, you know, some women be doing the same thing, trying to see if they still got it.
No, I don't
Oh,
know.
I can
Okay,
tell you.
okay.
But more women wear their rings than men. I do
Yes,
know
yes,
that. I mean,
yes, yes.
that is true. But I mean, I'm not gonna count out that you gonna see some women tucking it up
Mhm,
in the corner pocketbook sometimes.
mhm, mhm. Okay,
All right.
okay, okay.
Mhm.
So when you with for those that take their ring off to see if they still have it, I mean, you made a good point. Is that still a form of cheating or being unfaithful?
Mhm.
Because that raises the question, and which is a good question. Yeah, I mean, because if you are already married,
Mhm.
you went through you made the step, you walked down the aisle, you took the vows, you stood before God and your families, and you made that commitment. So that should, that should be
Mhm.
that. So and in that aspect, I think for me it's ego.
Oh, it's
It's
ego.
ego. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's ego.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like you said, you know, most women will still wear the ring, and the ones that do step outside the relationship, the marriage, um, that and I'm speaking of women now, the ones that do step, okay,
Mhm.
all right, most of them do wear the ring. Majority, if I'll say 90%, you do find like about maybe 10. There's no 100%,
Mhm.
but maybe like about 10% of women who don't wear their wedding ring for some reason or another. There are some that you know some people who are actually allergic to certain to metals,
Okay.
and you know they may have done the ring exchange during the ceremony, but in longevity of life because
Mhm.
they're you know their skin sensitivity to the metals,
Mhm.
they can't wear it. They can't
Right.
wear jewelry.
Absolutely. Uh huh.
Um, you know, but and that's not to give y'all an excuse. You see, like I
Absolutely. That.
said, it's got to
Yeah.
be something in the history
Uh huh.
of
Uh
your life,
huh. Uh
okay?
huh.
Something in the history. You
Yeah.
can't just all of a sudden, you know what, baby? I just discovered I'm allergic to metal.
Yes.
You know, you
Yes.
can't go
Yes.
try to throw that one up real quick.
Uh
All
huh.
right, now, come on, y'all fall for it. If y'all fall for it, okay, all right, okay. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
like you were saying, you know, but yeah, the few, the ones that are married, females that is, that that may step outside the marriage, because you know we're talking wedding rings, then we're talking married people, all
Mhm.
right.
Mhm.
All
Right.
right, this is
Yes.
not a conversation for the single. This is
Mhm.
preparation
Mhm.
for the singles.
Mhm.
All right,
Mhm.
and real talk for the married.
Yes. Real talk for
um,
the mayor.
So those women who might step out, they will still wear their ring, and kind of really what the message is to the one that they kicking it with on the side is that, I'll kick it with you, but let this ring be a reminder. I got somebody at home. All right,
Okay,
all
okay,
right,
okay, okay.
all right.
You know what, Jay? And honestly, uh, that's funny that you would say because yeah, because as a woman now, I haven't been in that position personally or anything like that. But because of what I stated earlier about women, being honored to have a ring, we not finna take it off for nothing. And now that's just it. I mean, we not gonna take it off. And the only time that we have a need or feel the need to take it off is if it's damaged. Something happened to it, and we have to take it off.
Right.
To have it serviced, get it fixed, or whatever like that. But other than that, like you were talking about that the normal everyday life and working and doing this and cooking and cleaning the house and taking care of the kids, that goes along with it. As far as women are concerned, that all of that go along with it, and that can have be a lot of wear and tear on your ring as well, but we're willing to take that sacrifice. We're willing to take it.
Oh, we really take that sacrifice. Good. All right. Are we willing to take that sacrifice? Boy.
Yeah.
Well, you do. You have some that do. You have some that don't. Life is full of uncertainty. And I really think most people's beef with why you don't wear your wedding ring. And of course, it's most of the time women make that comment.
Yes, absolutely.
Why you ain't got your wedding ring on?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
I got mine on, but I mean,
right.
But
absolutely.
I think most people's beef, mostly women, is that it's the area of depending or relying on the ring as the symbol of I don't know if I want to say protection or keepsake or a threat. All right.
Okay.
To the either from or from the other person, from the outside, from the outside person.
Yes.
It's more. It's kind of like I need you to have that ring on so that any women who might get an idea see that you got a wife at home, and so they won't be messing with you. Let me tell y'all something. We in the 20th century. All right, the 20th century, y'all. The 20th century is worse than back in Sodom and Gomorrah.
Absolutely.
Sodom and Gomorrah, they had red rings on, and that ain't stopped nothing. Okay,
and you don't now.
All right. Now, if you don't really, 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 really think, all right,
that's right.
And even now, well, actually, I there were a lot of women back then because when you think about it in the Old Testament, I mean, when you really look at it, I think there were more women to men back then than now because it seemed like just about almost every man at least had a wife, but you had some had 100 wives and 100 concubines and 300 wives, and I mean, so if there was that many extra, well, I mean, that many women extra. I mean, I think the women really outnumber, in my opinion, just looking at going on that statistics, was more women to the number of men than you talk about now. Now we say it's like about, what is it, 13, 15 women to every man now, available woman to every man. Of course, we know the available man. Let me put it, every available man, because You have a bunch of them that are in prisons or incarcerated,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
something like that.
Yeah.
But when we say available man, uh,
Mm.
so no, I think the numbers were a lot higher back then.
Well, Jay, I think the word you were trying to look for earlier was deterrent. You
Oh
know,
yeah, yeah, that's a good,
the,
that's a
the
good
the ring is
one.
supposed to symbolize.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why you say why you don't wear, where's your ring at? Why you don't wear your
Mm-hmm.
the ring? For
Mm-hmm.
when we see that as if they see your ring,
Mm-hmm.
then 9 times out of 10, most likely
Mm-hmm.
that they would go ahead and say,
Mm-hmm.
oh, he's married.
Mm-hmm.
But you made a good point too. Now you brought that up at the beginning of the show, which is a good point. Now a lot of time in today's time,
Mm-hmm.
they can see the ring,
Mm-hmm.
and it does not bother them that he got a ring on.
Mm-hmm.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
So then it goes back to this right here. Okay, do you know your mate, the
Mm-hmm.
person that you're married to? Because
Mm-hmm.
now we done already established that the ring does not a marriage mate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now then you got to look at the person, be it the male or the female.
Right.
Can you trust them?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Can you trust them?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
Gotta know your mate. Gotta know your
Yeah.
mate. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
The ring. Hear this, folks. The ring is only a symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just a symbol.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. It is not. It is not the action. It's the symbol.
Mm-hmm.
I look at church folk all day. I gotta go church. All right.
Go, Jay. Go,
all right.
Jay.
Can I hoop on this?
Yes, please.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Yes.
Okay. I need a little organ player.
Yes.
But yeah, when I talk about symbol, it's the same thing as when you go into baptism. Baptism and the submersion of water or sprinkling of water, whichever way you get baptized, is, and it says that it's only a symbol. That and you could go in that water, come right back out of that water, and be the exact same person.
Absolutely.
All you just did was took a soapless bath. That's all you did.
The same as went down a wet devil, went down a dry devil and came back up a wet one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's a symbol. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And as soon as you dry off, you go right back off, right back to what you were.
So it's about the person. So that's what you're saying. It's about
It's about the person.
Yeah.
And if the person has it set inside their mind to be that that they say that they're going to be actually before the symbol. It needs to be before the symbol takes place, or the symbolic act is taking place.
Yes.
Then it's no telling. I'm gonna say it like that. It's no telling when, if they're not that before the symbolic act, it's no telling when or if they'll become to conform into what the symbolic act is supposed to represent.
Absolutely.
It's just like any church going person, who if they have not fallen into really truly accepting Christ as their leader and all that, and Savior before the baptism. And what I said is no tell. In other words, you don't know, and really that's the bottom line. You don't know if they're going to actually conform into what they should and ought to be.
Absolutely, Judge.
Or even if they're going to conform. All you can do is hope. All you can do is hope and pray. But there should the thing that the symbol is placed in front of, there should already be a recognition of the act.
Absolutely. That's you explain that very well. A recognition of the act. So that goes back to the two people uh, before they're joined together in
Mm-hmm.
marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And with the rings, and one of the things that you said with brought up this comment, this state point for me is that when you see marriages,
Mm-hmm.
even on TV, celebrity style man. It doesn't have to be a celebrity style marriage. I'm just saying, marriages, period. But I'm saying the celebrities because they're so, flamboyant with their spending and, thousands and thousands of dollars for a dress and several thousands of dollars for the rings. And then they put out all of this money for the wedding itself and then for the reception. And then a month later, 6 months later, a year later, they're in divorce court.
Mm-hmm.
So now you still have all of these bills, this ring that costs $10,000, and I'm just saying, and now you still have all of these bills for a marriage that's over. So that just spoke to the point that you made, that the two people that before the wedding ceremony, before the marriage vows and all that, you have to know who you are when you're talking about joining together in marriage.
Right.
And you don't ever have to have a ring.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you two are the two people are quality people and going to honor the marriage. So we're talking about rings, but you don't ever have to have a ring, actually.
Right. And you know what? I know we talking about rings, but now we talking like the beforehand in the act and the symbol in the symbolic event. Um, the exchange of the vows and all that. But here's I think this might be fitting to throw in there. I hear this so often that I hear more from women than I do from men. This one scripture: "He who findeth a wife findeth a good thing." Okay.
Okay.
He who findeth a wife. All right.
Okay.
All right. Now. Okay. All right.
Come on, Jay.
I just letting that
come
sink
on,
in just a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Come on,
right.
come on.
He who findeth a wife. Are y'all hearing that? Or he who finds a wife finds a wife. Okay. All right. Now, finds a good thing. He who finds. All right. A wife. Now, he finds a wife. All right. Finds, when you find something, well, when you have found something, all right. Listen what it says. A wife. That means she's already in a wife. Okay. Now, when you found that person that you claim is, oh, that's the one. Is she already a wife? All right. She's
right.
And
fix it up, Jay. Fix
all right.
It up.
Now, let's really understand that. It's not all right because so many folk want to say that, and then they say, I'm a good thing, because if you found me, I'm a good thing, and then they want to say, and I'll make you a good wife, okay? But it says he who finds a wife, not he who finds somebody who can make them a good wife. See, that's not all right. That's what I. So. All right, here, ladies. Here's what that's really saying. It's saying that, and then we want to always try to say, I'm a Proverbs woman. Y'all sure? Because if y'all might want to really check that out, because you might be heaping a lot of stuff on yourself that you might not really you might not want that problem. Be a Proverbs woman when you really know what a Proverbs woman.
Absolutely.
because I know basically all versions of the Bible that I read, and there's several. And still all point to that Proverbs verse from woman being not only just a good-natured woman, but when I started reading and really getting the understanding, actually, it's almost like the man didn't have to do much. The woman was even going to work with him.
Yeah.
She would keep up the house,
Yeah.
keep up the kids,
She was a
got a
realtor.
cook,
Yeah.
got a sew, make clothes. She was.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
and she was assisting her husband in making sure his work was good.
Right. That's
And
what
if she had to get out there and work with him,
yes.
now. Now, what did that really leave for the man to do? Go. I mean, I'm just saying what y'all be quoting all the time. All right, the man went to work. It didn't say he came and kept the kids and cooked and all that. I mean, good if you got to cook. 'Cause I love cooking. I mean, I'll spoil me about somebody. But it didn't say that the man came and cooked. It said the woman, that Proverbs woman did it all. She did it all.
Yes.
And said she worked, she was at it from the break of sun.
Yes. Yes.
To beyond the sun went down.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Ain't no sitting watching no soap operas.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, are y'all sure?
You sure? Okay.
All right.
And that's how you get to he who finds a wife.
Yeah,
that's what, because she didn't let all, you know.
Because what it's saying, the woman, he who finds a good thing is that woman who has already positioned herself, doing things already.
Yeah, absolutely.
Has the character.
Absolutely.
Of what a good wife would be doing. Basically, absolutely. In the position of the Proverbs woman.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when you look at that, Jay, so so women, come on, we got to, and then don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with going to get your hair done, get your nails done. All of that is a part of being that type of woman. But you got to do something else more than that. You got to be able to do something else more than that. I mean, the microwave is fine. Putting things in the microwave from time, that's okay. But can you, cook a full meal? Can you do that? Can you keep the house clean on a regular basis? And take care of the children and all that other stuff that come with it, and don't miss a beat. And you talk about the Proverbs woman, and one thing in that, because I read that to myself a couple of times, Jay, several times, I still read that from time to time. It's an inspiration, to me. And not complain about doing all that, because I'm tired. I've been with the kids all day. I need some me time. I never heard that from her. Okay.
Yeah, you never heard that in them scriptures about from that proverb woman. You sure didn't. Y'all, like I said, women, y'all sure?
You sure?
You want to use that passage? Y'all might have to back that thing up.
Yes, absolutely. But now we're talking about, why, I mean, all of this is fitting in, it's tied in, why people don't wear, their wedding rings. Yeah. The wedding ring is not just something to look pretty on your hand for you to just go around and show, everybody, I'm married, because it's more than that. Anybody can put a ring on and play in the marriage. You know what I'm saying? But it takes a whole lot to maintain what's the word I'm looking for? To maintain a right marriage, right. If I can say the word right, or a marriage that's gonna be profitable. Right. Okay. It takes some things. It takes some sacrifice. It takes some doing. So the wedding ring is not just for pretty or for show. It's there, for a reason. If you're gonna wear your ring, then you have to be able to, establish that the ring is not just something to be on your hand. I look at, nowadays, and it's not all marriages. It's just that overall, to me, when I look at, society as a whole, celebrities make a mockery
Mm-hmm.
out of marriage. I mean, they just really do make a mockery out of marriage. Um, Divorcing this one, marrying that one, divorce that, staying married for a month, a year, and then divorcing, making a mockery out of it. But when you still see women or couples today that have been married for 30, 40, 50, something years, that is what inspire me,
Right.
because you just don't see that,
Right.
in this day and age, a marriage that's been sustained for 50, 60 years, and things like that. And so when I see that, that I stand in awe of it, because I know that if it's now, look, if God has joined it together,
Mm-hmm.
okay, then it can stay just that.
Uh-huh.
It can stay just that.
Right. Yeah, yeah, that's right. And it's really something. How we really look at a lot of things. Tradition has really brought our minds or
Mm-hmm.
conformed our minds to
Mm-hmm.
seeing things the wrong way. And
Absolutely.
there's a one I admire uh, this man of the cloak who's a really strong teacher. And I don't mind calling his name. Um, his Jim Stanley. Jim
Mm-hmm.
Stanley. Um, what's his name? Chuck Stanley, uh, son, and he has. Folks, y'all should go check him out. I mean, I love me some TD Jakes too,
Mm-hmm.
but I really really suggest go. You can find him on YouTube and several other places. This guy is really 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 you talking about making sure every T and every I dot, make sure the
Mm-hmm.
commas in the right place, the dots
Mm-hmm.
in the right place. I mean, punctual. This guy is really, really tight and sound on
Mm-hmm.
teaching biblical understanding. Um, and I admire him very, very strongly. And he gets a lot of credit, but I don't think he but I think
Mm-hmm.
one of the things he's not worried about the prosperity and
Mm-hmm.
having such a big
Absolutely.
name. If he
Yes.
gets a big name, which he does have,
Mm-hmm.
is only because people have made it that way, not because he was seeking to push it
Mm-hmm.
that way.
Absolutely
And that's
right.
the other thing I really
Yeah.
admire about him,
Mm-hmm.
because there are so many, and I know we're on the ring, but
Mm-hmm.
there are so many people out here, yes, I'll say it, ministers and
Mm-hmm.
pastors who are really self-seeking,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
the reason I'm going there is because, like I've said a little earlier, we have allowed tradition
Mm-hmm.
and society and warped teaching to conform us to the wrong way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And and as you were saying, Miss Divya, about how we need to focus on the ring. The ring is really only symbolic.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any promises.
Right.
It doesn't really say. It doesn't say just because somebody said at the altar that they'll take you and cherish you,
Yes.
and all
Right.
that they actually will cherish you,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's only symbolic, because I asked the question about when people, and this has to do with being misled by traditions such as the ring being on the finger,
Mm-hmm.
and what it's to so many people is supposed to create this promise. The ring that's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to create the promise, right,
Mm-hmm.
or fulfill the promise. Um, I asked, many people, if a person couldn't speak, they couldn't
Mm-hmm.
tell you that they love you,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and as so many people be like, well, I didn't hear you tell me you love me today.
Mm-hmm.
You must not love me because I don't hear you. You don't call me up no more. You don't.
Mm-hmm.
You just get up and go around your day and all this stuff. And we don't have that what we had when we first got married and all that stuff. I mean, even just courting relationship. Um, but and so I asked that question: if a person was deaf and couldn't say that, um, how much important is it to hear the words rather than the person, because they can't speak.
Right.
So the only alternative they would have is the show.
Yes.
Then the show. I said, because if they could speak and they're just telling you that, and if that's only thing, if that's the most is good enough for you, and they can't show you that, I said, somewhere you're not being, you're deceived.
Absolutely.
You're deceived. And in the same way with the ring, with it being to many people, mostly women, the promise, uh, to keep women from coming to approaching their man, or to keep the man from approaching women, and really vice versa. Even though it's less women doing that than men, or in that position than men. Are we really being honest with ourselves? Because are you just worth good enough for words, or are you worth good enough for action?
Jay, and see, the thing about saying "I love you," I mean, yes, you want to hear it from time to time, okay, but saying that is just like a lot of times when we say stuff, when we say things, it comes out, we say it, and some we don't mean it, But we're talking about as far as a relationship or a marriage is concerned. And I would have to agree with the fact that if the person, my mate, was not able to tell me, but was so instrument in letting me know, showing me that he loved me or he cared about me, that's what's important. That's what's important. Because that's what makes the difference, and a lot of times, and to even go even further with that, show me you love me. Well, how do I show you I love you? How do I show you? By what? By the things that I do for you on a daily basis. How do you show a person that you love them? Let's talk about that for a minute.
All right. Okay. There are plenty of ways you can show a person. And it ain't because you go buy flowers and cards and gifts all the time. And it's not because of that. I mean, let's. I'm gonna take a deaf person, okay? All right. Because before I go into detail, I'm gonna make the statement. It's one thing. But here's how we make this statement really quite often. You know when you know when you know. Okay. We love to make that statement. Okay. So here's my question, and I'm gonna go into detail. Do we really know that we know when we know? All right. Are we that sure? All right. So when we say that, what do we really base that on? We really base that on because of all the things that they do, not just buying gifts, buying that. They might, get things like they may not cook much, but they get up and they do it. You might be the one that cooks really much, maybe 90, 95, maybe 100%.
Yes.
And then you're not feeling well, and they say, well, I know you're not feeling well. I'm gonna go in here at least try. Effort.
Yes.
They're willing to try to go out of their way to try to make it work. Try to get it to work. Some that they know that it's not in their repertoire.
Absolutely.
All right. But they're gonna try to because they care so much about you about you. They want you to get healed. They want you to get that's I mean, so little thing like that. All right. And I wish I had a little book that was 101 ways to romance a person. It's really good book. But other little things. The they you know, and I don't like to talk about me too much, but I'm trying to pick on other folks. uh, but such as that one of you left your lunch. All
Yes.
right,
Yes.
and you really want the best for your mate. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
All right. Um, you in the middle of one of your good movies or good
Mhm.
shows.
Mhm.
All right. You
Mhm.
probably just got off from work and they don't went to work.
Right.
All right. And
Mhm.
you like, man, I get to relax and then your mate calls you and say, baby, I left my lunch
Yeah.
and I'm sure enough hungry.
Yeah.
Well, they get up because they
Mhm.
love them.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
even though they might not be feeling it,
Right.
they go out of their way. Here we go
Yes.
again.
Yes. Yes.
Grab the lunch
Mhm.
and now here's what makes a difference.
All right,
All
Jay.
right.
Come on.
If you do that and you be complaining,
Uh huh.
fussing,
Uh huh.
even though you do it,
Yeah.
you may as well not have done it.
Might as well.
I'm just gonna
Might
keep it
as
real.
well.
You just may as well not have done it because you done killed it.
Mhm. Mhm.
All right, because
Mhm.
your mate ain't gonna see you as actually doing it out of
Oh.
love.
Mm.
They're gonna see you doing it because either they're forced to do it, or
Mhm.
not because they're doing it because love compelled them to do it. All
Absolutely.
right, all
Absolutely.
right. But yeah,
Absolutely.
so
Or
uh,
I go even a little better, Jay, because when you get there, then I just got off of work. I just got off, and I was trying to sit down and rest, and you called me and asked me to bring this up. No, are you loving? Do you love him? Do you
mhm,
love him? And you made that good point. And one of the things I thought about this, um, um, if you seen the movie, Kevin Hart is in it. Um, I just watched that movie the other day, Jay. I can't think of the name of it right now. But one of the scenes in the movie is Kevin Hart is having dinner with his girlfriend
mhm,
and her best friend,
mhm,
and the Kevin Hart's girlfriend get up and walk out of the room,
mhm,
and he tells the friend, "Don't eat that."
mhm,
She is the worst cook I have ever
mhm,
known.
mhm.
If you eat that, you're going to die. I have to die, but you don't have to. And that was so funny to me. But we talking about, I mean, it's along that same
Mhm,
line.
mhm,
He loved her
mhm,
so much
mhm.
that he was willing to eat her terrible, awful cooking. But he also liked the friend enough to tell her, don't you don't have to do this. I have to.
Yeah,
So
yeah, uh-huh.
that goes a long way, Jay. It really does.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about,
Mhm,
people. The love is in the showing and the way you show it.
mhm,
Okay, and the way you show it. If you're doing it begrudgingly, if you're doing it with an attitude, if you're doing it because you think, he trying to one up you or she trying to one up, that's you're not doing it for the right reason. Is that
mhm.
really showing that you love?
Yeah, yeah, they're really showing love. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There really we know when we are loved,
Mhm.
and
Mhm. Mhm.
and I see some people that really sometimes they be shown love. I mean, really good acts of love,
Mhm.
but they will have a fit. They have an irate fit if they don't hear it, if they don't
Mhm.
hear the "I love you."
Mhm.
Uh, and many times I sit back and I say, we have gotten away from the real picture, and no wonder we can. No wonder we don't have much sharing of love, 'cause we don't even know
Mhm.
what to look for. We're looking for so much the wrong thing. No wonder there ain't so much enough love going in relationship, 'cause we looking for the wrong thing.
Oh yeah, and I mean, and we're talking about the acts of it.
Mhm.
You know, And ladies, if your man don't bring you flowers, if your husband don't bring you flowers on those special days,
Mm-hmm.
Valentine's Day, and I just found out that the other day up north they celebrate this day is called Sweeties Day.
Mm-hmm.
That's the day that's set aside for you to honor
Mm-hmm.
and cherish your sweetheart.
Mm.
Okay,
All right.
and so that was just this past weekend. But days like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if he doesn't,
Uh-huh.
if he doesn't buy you flowers, if he doesn't buy you candy, does that not mean that he don't love you because he don't? You know, women take a lot of stock in it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, look, don't call in, ladies. You must don't like it. Who is you? Are you really? Yes, I like flowers just as well as the next woman does. Yes, I like that. But if he doesn't buy it, I mean, does that not say that he still doesn't love you or care about you? Or he forget to buy it?
Mm. Well, I'm gonna one up on you on that one. I tend to continue to throw this thought out. To I guess to create a spontaneous combustion in the brain.
Do it.
Yeah, that's why I call it spontaneous
combustion.
Yeah, in the brain.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I'm working on my professionalism. But yeah, the thing that I've looked at, especially the Valentine thing, Valentine Day thing, holidays, birthdays, those three particular dates of the year, and the one I use to try to set the floor for the conversation of all the ones getting to Valentine's Day is the New Year's Eve day.
Okay.
All right, church folk, and all those that want to call yourself Christians and believers and God praises and all that. All right, this message is for you. Right now it is. Okay. Why is it that we wait for 365 days?
Absolutely.
That we actually wait 364 and a half days, get to the midnight hour,
yes,
and we hear so many all across the country,
yes,
of folk, even folk that don't even go to church, all right, of folk celebrating and praising, crying and praying and hallelujah and all that, and thanking the Lord so heavy about thank you, Lord, for seeing the new year when that midnight hour comes. For seeing the new year, the big celebration, the new I done made it to a new year.
Yes.
Okay. All right, folks. All right. All right. The Bible says, do not deceive yourselves, okay? All right. So God is not mocked, all right? Paul says he crucifies himself daily. There's a reason for that. All right. December 31st, y'all. Listen up. And those who haven't heard me say this before, December 31st is exactly the same number of days, 365, as it is January 1st, as it is today, which is October. In October. All right. Which is the exact number of days in whatever day in January, whatever day in February from the year before. Okay? All right. Today is a new year because it's exactly 365 days, all right, away.
Okay.
It's one we say that throughout the whole year. Well, last year this time we're saying, okay, we done made it to a new year because last year this time, okay, you recognize this 1 year.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's no difference in it being a year on any new day.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Any new day is a brand new day. That's why Paul says
Mm-hmm.
that crucifies himself daily. Not
Mm-hmm.
crucify himself once a year
Uh-huh.
or
Uh-huh.
or when a
Okay.
new calendar day comes.
Right, right, okay.
Daily. Daily. Okay. Uh uh and so you know it's only a new calendar number
Mm-hmm.
in date. Okay? The rollover is into a new year
Yes.
in number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Not as far as new year.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
That's deep,
All
Jay.
right. Not as far.
Mm-hmm.
And those who wait all the whole entire 365 days just to say thank you, Lord, for seeing them through
Yes.
to a new year
New Year. Yes.
have really missed the understanding.
Mm-hmm.
All
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because there's some folk that was waiting didn't even make it to get there,
Absolutely.
right? And they didn't
Absolutely.
realize that each day was a new year, all right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And they couldn't
Absolutely.
even, and when they had
Yes.
time to think for a new year,
Mm-hmm.
or or here's how I'm gonna say it: exercise the actions that they were thankful for
Mm-hmm.
the new year, which is the
Mm-hmm.
new day.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't do it. Okay,
Yeah.
now,
Yes.
all right, women, Valentine's Day.
Yes.
All right, we society has seen so many women get so upset that if on Valentine's Day, that if they don't get anything from the so-called man that claims they love them, uh, that they get irate, get bent out of shape, depressed, and all that stuff. Um, y'all missing the point.
Absolutely.
Because if you were to get something and that satisfy you, and you don't get no more flowers,
yes,
no more candy, no more the so-called Valentine's special treatment until 365 days later, and you satisfied at that, what you're really saying is that that's all you're worth. That's what you're really saying. That's all you're worth. You only worth one day of flowers.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
You only worth this person showing you only one day that means to you that this person cares. Because if they don't do that, you be like, oh, they don't really love me. They don't really care. But if they do so, oh, look, my baby really loves me. And look, they really care about me. They didn't forget. They didn't forget.
Jay.
All right.
Yes.
And they don't do it no more.
No more. Yes. Yes.
You mean to tell me here's how you think. A person who's really into you, they don't need a date.
Absolutely.
They don't need to do. They don't need to follow what everybody else is doing. You mean to tell me they gotta do it because that's what everybody else does? You mean your mate ain't unique enough that he's not individualized enough to do it on his own at any time of the year?
Yes. Yes.
He got to do it because society says it. The government said do it. His friends doing it.
Yes,
all right.
Yes. Absolutely.
But his heart ain't saying doing it. He doing it because it's what everybody does. You see?
Yes. Jay, you know, you made some good points, and I'm gonna tell you, honestly, and that's so key. That is so key. If you can only honor me one day out of a year, ladies, men, does that not make you question what your relationship is really based on? I mean, honestly, does that not make you question that? I mean, and for the rest of the days, like birthdays and Christmas and things like that. Does that not make you question that that you are worth more than that? Because guess what? With God's will, each day is gonna roll around. No, we don't know what tomorrow gonna bring. We don't even know if we're gonna be here tomorrow. But with each day, that day is going to come if it's God's will. So I gotta wait for Valentine's Day. I gotta wait for well, y'all don't know what Sweetest Day is celebrated up north. For Sweetest Day to come around, my birthday to come around, in order for you to show me that you care about me, in order for you to show me that you love me, we got it misunderstood. We got it twisted. Yeah, we got it twisted.
It's like that with everything. Secretary's Day. What's another one? Teacher's Day. I mean, if a teacher's doing good work, principal. Y'all mean you tell me y'all can't come around to your teacher and tell them and pat them on the back? You know what? I appreciate you. You know, you're doing a marvelous job. But you're going to go do it because the government does set Teacher's Day. Now, this is the day I need to give you something. All right? Take this and shut up. All right? I'll see you next year, Teacher's Day. All right? I mean, you know, I mean, really, I mean, folk don't be saying that, but really, when you start listening, paying attention, you know, it's like, you know, hey, I done gave it to you, all right, you know, you got yours like everybody else got it, all right, now leave it alone the next because if they don't do nothing else, I mean, come on, they might not be saying it loud.
I mean, you know, and it's the same thing, you know, with like being on a job. You know, I can honestly remember the day. Now I'm not saying that, you know, it's not, you know, here today, because I know it still is somewhere around. But you know, where jobs used to really appreciate their employees. You know, where the boss would come around and say, "Hey, you're doing a good job. You know, thank you, appreciate you for working for the company, for doing such a hard job. You know, you're doing great work for the company. Thank you so much." And I really believe that, I know we probably getting off the subject, but I really believe that, you know, if we look at workplace shootings and things like that today, you know, it's a lot of things going on in the workplace that we probably don't even know, you know, the half of. But I think that if employers really appreciate what their workers did and showed them on a regular basis, then maybe a lot of this stuff can be, you know, can be cut out. You know, a lot of these workplace shootings or things that go on in the workplace, because people really feel like they're not being honored nowadays on their jobs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's absolutely right. People are, you know, I've learned the best thing you can give a person is out of love, is showing them appreciation, how much you appreciate them.
Absolutely.
I mean, people, if one flattering thing that people will always receive is being told how much they are being appreciated.
Absolutely.
You know, and even when you tell somebody who probably don't even deserve it sometimes, you know, I appreciate you, it tends to do something to that person.
Absolutely.
It really does. It really tends to do something to that person. So, so, you know, appreciation goes a long way. All right?
And you know, Jay, and it's just to say, you know, where we're talking about at the beginning of the show, why people don't wear their wedding rings. And so, and it's just to say this, that if you're showing your mate that you appreciate them, that you love them, that you care about them, that you honor them, if they never wear a wedding ring a day, and you know, as long as you two are together, when he leaves or when she leaves out of your sight, you don't have to be concerned about what they're doing when they're not with you.
Right.
Because like you said, you just made a good point, that if a man knows or a woman knows that they are being appreciated and loved and nourished and cared for, you can go out the door and go thousands and thousands of miles away, and you don't have to be concerned about what your mate is doing when they're out there, and they ain't even got a ring on.
Yeah.
So
Ring or no ring, you know, because the ring don't make a person,
The
y'all.
ring don't make a person.
All
It does
right.
not a marriage make.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All
Yep.
right. So yeah, it's yeah, I've been appreciating you on the show. All
Thanks
right.
for having
Yeah.
me, Jay.
Why
It's been
people don't
great.
wear the
Yeah.
ring rings. All
Hmm.
right. All right, y'all. Don't none of y'all use my lines now. All right. I mean it. Don't y'all. I'm gonna be listening. All
Hmm.
right. All right, y'all. We're out. All right. Thanks for tuning in to the
Thanks for
J
having me,
Talks.
Jay.
Jay Talks Today's Relationship Show. We see y'all next week, same time. All right.